witamy w nowym roku. Sezon 33, runda druga i dzisiaj będą tylko grupy A i B, bo w grupie C w rundzie drugiej nie wszystkie gry zostały zagrane. Możliwe, że skomentujemy rundę pierwszą albo trzecią z tamtej grupy. No, zaczynamy od grupy A i tutaj mamy jedną grę do skomentowania po polsku, a już wszystkie następne będą po angielsku. Higaki gra czarnymi, Nilu gra białymi. I ci, którzy oglądają ten komentarz, mają szczęście, że poznają niezwykły sekret Higakiego. A może nie Higakiego, ale sekret konkretnego kształtu. Dwa joseki zostały zagrane, takie właśnie oto joseki, jedno obok drugiego i teraz Sebastian kontynuuje tnąc. Czarne wydłużają, białe pełzną i najczęściej się w tej sytuacji widuje odpowiedź wydłużki. Ale można również dać atari z góry i to też jest dobry ruch. Białe odpowiadają dając atari, czarne wydłużają i teraz jeśli białe chcą, to mogą złapać te trzy kamienie czarnego, pchając. Czarne nie mogą tu, więc wydłużają, ale dalej się wydłużać raczej sensu za wielkiego nie ma, bo nie ma za bardzo dokąd iść. Chociaż może można by jakoś wykorzystać ten kształt białego. Na przykład zagrać tu, tu i tu. To jest chytry plan czarnych, no ale strata jest dość duża. I pewnie lepiej to zrobić w inny sposób. Hanę tutaj i w tej chwili uderzenie. Przynajmniej mi się taki pomysł całkiem kiedyś spodobał i zagrałem go raz w swojej grze. I białe mają trochę problem. Jeżeli zagrają cokolwiek z prawej strony, no to tutaj daje się rozciąć białego. A strata na górnej bandzie nie jest aż tak duża. Jeśli z kolei białe schodzą, no to czarne łapią kamień w drabinkę. Więc najsilniejszym wydaje się ruch taki, hanę. Ale wówczas czarne mogą przeciąć i białe nie bardzo mają jakąkolwiek mądrą odpowiedź. Może tu można. W każdym razie wydaje mi się, że to jest całkiem niezła chytrość ze strony czarnych. I ja polecam tak grać, jeżeli są właśnie takie dwa joseki obok siebie. Ale Nilu, nie wiem czy się spodziewał tutaj kłopotów czy nie, wybrał inny ruch, który też jest możliwy. Zagięcie. No, żeby nie zbliżać się do tamtej grupy, która ma wyraźne agi. Nawet jeżeli tutaj nic by się nie przeliczyło, to taka ostrożność, żeby się nie zbliżać do własnej grupy z agi, może nam podpowiedzieć ten właśnie ruch, który też jest dobry. Higaki zagrał hanę, biały skok, no i wszystko się skończyło w ten sposób. Czyli straciliśmy tak czy siak te trzy kamienie, jesteśmy bardziej potężni na zewnątrz, no ale białe nie mają na pewno powodów do niezadowolenia. Tylko nie rozumiem, czemu czarne zagrały tę wydłużkę. Przecież czarne mogą zagrać w tym miejscu. Skoro się trzeba połączyć, połączmy się od razu i nie grajmy tej wymiany, która naprawi słabość w kształcie przeciwnika. Jeśli zagramy tak po prostu, to raczej przeciwnik nie zagra te nuki, bo gdyby zagrał, to tutaj wiele jest słabości i można się próbować przed tym ratować, ale jeżeli weźmiemy pod uwagę jeszcze tamtą słabość, no to raczej trudno tu będzie białemu. A zatem białe odpowiedzą. No to jest tak jak w grze, tylko że zmusiliśmy białego do dodatkowego ruchu. Tak jak w grze, tylko że białe zagrały w A. No więc wielka szkoda, że czarne tak ułatwiły życie białemu i powiedziały, tutaj masz słabość, połącz się. No to białe się połączyły, dziękuję bardzo. A właśnie nie, zostawiajmy słabość w kształcie przeciwnika, żeby ten przeciwnik się trochę namęczył tam. Pewnie grałby ten skok, ewentualnie bambusa. No. Także tutaj wyraźny błąd ze strony czarnych. Białe kontynuują, hasami ma sens, białe uderzyły. No i idzie sobie Joseki. To jest Joseki. Białe tutaj i gdzie się gra w Joseki? W Joseki można wyskoczyć, można zagrać białemu na nosie. To są typowe ruchy. Jeżeli wyskoczymy, białe mogą też spróbować wyskoczyć albo nawet zagiąć, ale my możemy zawsze schwytać mu 2 kamienie. No i to jest w porządku. Białe zyskały siłę na zewnątrz, ale teraz ten ruch w 2 z kolei jest bezsensownie położony, bo obok siły czarnych. Z drugiej strony ciąć to raczej zuchwałość zbyt wielka. No, także to jest jedna możliwość, albo zagrać na nosie, co w zasadzie prowadzi do podobnego rezultatu. Do podobnego rezultatu, dlatego że białe raczej nie będą grały tego ruchu, raczej zagrają tu, a czarne wtedy na nosie. Albo może tu, białe tu, czarne na nosie. A tak samo jak czarne zagrają tu, to prawdopodobnie białe nie będą chciały walczyć, bo to nierozsądne, tylko się najpierw wzmocnią, a czarne wtedy mogą wrócić do tego samego kształtu. Natomiast Higaki, zamiast tak zagrać, to zagrał Hanę. I to jest niezwykła zuchwałość z jego strony. Tak jakby podejrzewał, że białe są zmuszone jakoś tutaj, no nie wiem, zrobić zły kształt. Bo gdyby zagrały tak, no to wtedy plan czarnych jest znakomity. Kształt białego się rozsypuje. A zatem trochę Higaki tutaj próbuje być mądrzejszy od Joseki, twierdząc, że jest w stanie zmusić białego do takiego złego kształtu, ale Nilu się na to nie godzi. Gra silny kształt, a Higaki, haha, to teraz ja cię mogę zamknąć. Tylko że cały ten plan jest grubymi nićmi szyty, bo tu jest słabość, a poza tym w narożniku czarny ma kłopot. Białe zamknęły, no i teraz w zasadzie czarne powinny były ten narożnik wzmocnić i może tu się wzmocnić, no ale białe sobie teraz też przeżyją na bandzie. No może tak i tak, jakoś tak. No i wcale to nie jest dobry rezultat dla czarnych, a czarne idą w to dalej i próbują udowodnić białemu, że biały się bardzo myli i że zaraz tu zginie. No ale rezultat był tragiczny dla czarnego, ponieważ białe teraz zagrały w słaby punkt czarnego kształtu i okazuje się, że grupa czarnych ma mało oddechów. Wprawdzie, jak tak sobie policzymy, to wydaje się, że czarne mają 5 i białe też mają 5. Ale nawet jeśli czarne tu znajdą sposób, żeby białego zabić bezwarunkowo, jeśli taki sposób istnieje, to i tak to będzie akceptowalny rezultat dla białego, bo białe strasznie dużo dostają na zewnątrz. I zabrały cały narożnik. Czarny ma tam 15 punktów i ładne pudełeczko z prawej strony, ale i tak to jest akceptowalne dla białego. A poza tym wcale zadanie czarnego nie jest takie proste, bo potem jak czarny zabrał oddech, biały zszedł, po czym zagrał Tysudzi i czarny zginął. I to jest tragedia, która nie powinna się wydarzyć, w grupie A przynajmniej. Już kiedy biały zagrał to zejście, to czarny mógł pomyśleć, że coś tutaj się święci i poszukać jakiegoś alternatywnego wyjścia. Zagrać tu. Biały nie zagrałby tak po prostu, tylko zagrałby Hanem, zabierając czarnemu oddechy i też wygrywając ten Tosemai, ale czarny ma przecież możliwość rozpoczęcia ko. No to już lepiej grać ko niż zginąć bezwarunkowo. Tak. Czy biały może jednak tu zagrać? Tak. A, może. No to może już było za późno w tej chwili i trzeba było prowokować ko od razu, albo zagrać tu. No i wtedy jest dobrze. Tak, jest dobrze, wygrywamy o 1 oddech, a jak tak, to no to właśnie jest ko. A przy czym dwustopniowe. No to coś takiego byłoby akceptowalne dla czarnych. No ale niestety czarne się pomyliły i zginęły. No i to jest tragedia. We własnym narożniku zginęły na dużą skalę. Od tej pory gra była bardzo, bardzo trudna dla czarnego. Też raczej się nie tutaj gra. Na ten ruch białego odpowiada się zazwyczaj tak, albo może tak. Tylko ten kształt czarnego też nie jest taki silny. No trudno jest uniemożliwić białemu stworzenie silnej grupy na tej bandzie, no bo ta banda jest jeszcze bardzo otwarta. Ale tego raczej się nie grywa, dlatego że białe mają taką dobrą kontynuację. No właśnie, czarne nawet nie chciały się zgodzić na to, że się tutaj połączą, ale w złym kształcie. I oddały białemu duży narożnik. Może to ma jakiś sens, bo teraz czarne mogą próbować strategii na mojo, ale to powinny przynajmniej zagrać takiego shoulder hita, a nie to, co zagrały w grze, czyli kejmę, i dały białemu się tutaj łatwo zbudować. Białe się zbudowały, rozbiły kształt czarnego. Tu jeszcze czarne, jakieś ostatnie podrygi, ostrygi. Próbują tutaj przechytrzyć białe, ale białe nie dały się przechytrzyć, i kiedy czarne tutaj wygrywały semai o jeden oddech, to białe zamiast się polubownie dać zabić, to po prostu oddały 3 kamienie bardzo skutecznie, bardzo słusznie. No i gra była bardzo prosta dla białego. Białe zwyciężyły bez problemów po tym, jak po prostu stworzyły żywą grupę burzącą wpływ czarnych. No i tyle o tej grze. Gra była bardzo krótka. Znaczy, dość szybko się rozstrzygnęła, także też komentarz jest krótki. Myślę, że najciekawsze co w tej grze, to jest to, że kiedy białe mają to adzi w lewym górnym narożniku, to można spróbować je wykorzystać i nie wydłużyć się, bo tym ruchem to raczej tego adzi za bardzo nie wykorzystamy, grając to zwykłe joseki, tylko właśnie dać to atari. Myślę, że to jest sprytny pomysł, no ale właśnie ważna teraz mądrość. Nie naprawiajmy problemów przeciwnika za darmo, po prostu mówiąc przeciwnikowi, o tu się połącz. Tylko właśnie nie, niech tam zostanie słabość. No to był duży błąd. No a później też nie ma co próbować być mądrzejszym od joseki. Należy zagrać po prostu zwykłe ruchy i gra jest jak najbardziej normalna, dobra dla czarnych. A to co w grze to była tragedia. Dobrze, no to tyle o tej partii. Nie ma tu już nic więcej do komentowania niestety. I przejdziemy do następnej i przerzucimy się na angielski język. In this game, Cezary took black and Stephen took white. And the game started with similar josekis as the previous one we reviewed. Again, we see this crosscut, and a difficult joseki starts. The previous game featured this Atari, which is also possible, which aims at sacrificing stones, but not sacrificing in this way. This would be too easy for white, but sacrificing it in a way which will pose more difficulties to white. White can press, and there is no point for black in running like this, because even though black might live here, white's influence is too powerful. The idea is to give away the stones, and we do it in this manner. Later we can play at A in center if we want, but we can also keep it like this. Even though white can break through, it's not really amazing for white to do it because of very bad liberty problems of the group. So we just leave it like this usually. White has also another option, which is to play this turn, which was played by nil in the previous game, and then black can, for example, finish it in this manner. Not sure if maybe also a simple extension is a good idea. Later, Hanen might lead to some trouble for white. But in this game, we see a more common move and a Nobi extension. And then something interesting happened here. A quite high level discussion about this shape. So, a common thing to do for white now is trying to put pressure on black stones. Black can play the tiger's mouth, and if white really wants to fight, white can play here, but it's not reasonable. Black can still run out, and this Hane has a very big value. Maybe a better way to seal black might be this move, but still it would be relatively easy for black to build a living group, even like this. Then maybe this is also an option, but crazier and crazier. And with this move, we can already be afraid of black's counter attack, like this, for example. So what white usually does is simply giving this Atari, and then black might run. And I think it's better to run with this move and not with that, because that gives white the Ponnuki in center. Well, it's not a very great Ponnuki, it's just in the corner, but still, maybe better to play the tiger's mouth. But before doing this, we often see in professional games this attachment. And what is the meaning? If black answers in a common way, as we answer to attachments, which is with Hane, white can pull back and black probably needs to add a move. And right now white has more power, and maybe white can even think of such a fierce attack on black stones. Here white is alive, and black has a bit of trouble, but well, maybe the clamp can still save the day for black. So still maybe it's too much by white, though there might be other ideas. So this looks a bit scary for black, and that's why sometimes we might see not a Hane, but an extension. And right now, if white pulls back, then of course it's not Sente. Black can play here and play on the right side. This would be normal, but in the game, so this means that maybe white doesn't want to pull back. Just this exchange is already good for white. White gained the stone on the outside. Well, white didn't gain the other stone, but fine. Maybe now it's time to simply play this move and let black build a shape here. This would be a normal development. But pulling back is a bit slack by white. It gives black what black wants, in my eyes. In the game, black plays this move, white pushes, black blocked, and now I would expect black to play here. But what we see in the game is this turn, and this is not logical at all, because this is like the previous variation with a Hane, but with a bit thinner move, with a solid connection, while the tiger's mouth should be probably better. There is not much agi in black's shape. It's just a faster move, more flexible. And anyway, if black wanted this result, then why didn't black start from the Hane? Black played this and then still plays this turn. It's a bit unexpected. Though, okay, I see. Now we already gained this exchange, so we are not afraid of that fierce attack of white. However, white didn't play this move right now, but attacked from distance. And this was a smart decision. Not easy for black to find a good way. We would really like to shoulder hit and go out, but unfortunately our opponent will counter this in this way, and this is probably satisfactory for white, capturing that big group of black, even though black has something in exchange. So what else can black do? Maybe black can play a bit more modest move, but we don't really enjoy being sealed. It's not yet alive. Maybe simply crawl on the second line. Now if white wants to seal us, it's probably unreasonable. So I think that this is a very decent move. But black found another cool idea. First play here, and if white goes like that, then we are on the third line. And if white plays like this, then we go out. Looks very cool. However, white gets a lot in exchange. Now white gets a very solid shape, and black doesn't have a base. So it's not necessarily a good idea by black. We might think of another possibilities, maybe start from here, like this. I don't know. But anyway, this at first looks very cool, but if you look again, white is also satisfied with what white got. This is a really bad exchange by black. And now, now white plays light. White doesn't need to press and try by all means capture black. This would be unreasonable. White plays in a flexible way. Goes out with one group and with the other group. Now black plays a sharp move instead of just a normal way, just jumping out. And I wondered why black wants this. I didn't really understand, as it gives white a stone on the outside. But black had a plan, apparently. So for now, white took center to strengthen the other group. And now, what was black's plan? So I thought that black is going to simply play here. This is a very big move, and white's group is under pressure. However, black had a Tsuji in mind. Push, cut, and Atari. And now white cannot connect all of the stones, so white is forced to live locally. And white doesn't. And is it good for black? Not necessarily. Because, well, yeah, black sealed white. But first of all, white got quite a few points. White is very strong there, and still there is this weakness in black's shape. This cutting stone. Here may be a way out. So black's shape on the outside is not really impressive. It pretends to be impressive, to be an amazing influence, but in fact it's not. It's not really an amazing influence. So much weakness in black's shape. All types of weakness. Luckily for black, the cut is not an issue. Like, black doesn't need to play the net, but black has also this other way. This is quite amazing for black. So that cut is not an issue. But if you look again, black had a chance to play simply this move, or first exchange this and then that. And now, black, territory-wise, black is no worse than in the game. Maybe black didn't seal white, but it is for better, because now white still has a problem. It will be a burden for white. Basically, black solved a problem for white. It looked like a cool sequence, but white is only grateful to black for doing all of that. Alright, fortunately black is center, and I expected this move, because as we said, white doesn't have such a Tsuji. So white cannot run with the ladder. This would be an idea, but black does not do it. Black tries to fight, and this is not a good moment to fight, because we have weaknesses in our shapes, very severe weaknesses. Later in the game, white played a move at B, and this caused a lot of problem to black. But even if white simply extends and pushes, black is torn apart. We shouldn't fight before we defend. First defend. White plays here, it's alright, we will manage the group on the top, surely. So this was not the good timing. And yeah, and now white plays this move. But once black started, there was no way back. We cannot now say, now I will play the defensive move, because we already invested much in the fight. Yeah, this was a strategic mistake by black. And now black didn't even end up connecting because he was afraid that the whole plan will turn against him. So instead he peeps, which white lets black do. Maybe white could have fought, but it looks unreasonable by white. I think though, something to consider. Yeah. And maybe it would be more honest for black to jump, but black plays this move and white finds a weakness in black's shape. So now the game becomes a super complicated fight, but generally it looks like white has an upper hand in this fight, because this push is quite center-ish against black's shape. Black might play here, but white gets something in exchange. White might start from moves in the center, or something like this. And even if black goes there, black still owes a move here. So black will end up being torn apart. The fight is difficult, but if white plays it wrong, then it might turn good for black. For now, this is quite a reasonable development. Double honey. Black answers in the most powerful manner. Yeah, and now it's really important to add a move here, but black didn't do it. I don't know why. I mean, probably black understood that white will live easily, but still, it's a very valuable move, and it's not clear whether white can ignore the fight, whether white can protect the group in center. But yeah, black decided to just care about the other part of the board for now. Also an idea, but I don't really understand this, that black pushed twice and then plays this move. If we want, we can start by playing this move and not give white another power on the outside, but if we already pushed once more, then I thought that this is for the sake of getting center, so that we can play that very, very important move in the other part of the board. But yeah, now black plays here, and now it should be easy for white. I think that white can simply continue here. This is very important. White plays this, also capturing the 5 stones would give white a victory. But black fights quite strong, and it starts looking not so clear anymore. Maybe this was too much? Maybe we should rather play a bit more calmly as white. Like this, black captured stones, and well, still it might be that black's group will simply end up being captured, but it's not so obvious anymore. But now white came up with a different idea to hit black's shape on the other side, and black didn't want to simply capture white's stone, give white what white wants. So black plays the most powerful move, but then white had a Tesuji. Amazing Tesuji. If black connects, white's plan is to start a capturing race against the big dragon of black. Black has only 4 liberties. Yeah, probably no more, though maybe black can try to make more by starting this comp. But yeah, with 4 liberties, will it be enough? Might be not enough. Though not sure. Maybe black can fight. So this is a very difficult position, and if we manage to not give white anything here, then white's combination will be only a loss, and we will even take away white's liberties in the process right now, the liberties of the other group. So this is a moment when you need to spend all your time, basically. Like, spend all your time to make sure that you manage this fight. This is like the most important part of the time management. I don't know, maybe black was in Byoyomi, or maybe nothing worked here for black, but just a general remark. Really don't spare your time at such a moment, because a wrong move here will cost you a game, quite surely. If you still have time, try to use it all. Yeah. In the game, unfortunately, black didn't find a way to defend against white's attack. Now white throws in, and this is a very beautiful move. Black captured. If black plays this one instead, white will Atari, and then play this double Atari, capture, and black collapsed. So black captured immediately, but then it worked very similarly. White can start a call this way. White played this move instead, seeing that black has only 4 liberties. Yes, that's correct. But then again, here we are about to completely collapse, so if we still have any time, we need to use it now. And there was another way. In the game, black played here, but then white simply captured black's cutting stones and killed black's dragon. But black could have tried this move. If white plays this one, then it's a call. And the call still gives us a chance. Moreover, white cannot now fight the other call. So this is a threat. And now, now probably white takes away liberty. We play here. And then another threat. Maybe we can still stay in the game, though probably it won't be enough because white has outside threats. But at least a call. And well, maybe white will prefer to make 5 liberties, but then, who knows? Maybe there is a chance to create 1 more liberty if we play such exchanges. So certainly you need to try to find that. But in the game, white simply captured the cutting stones and the game was over. So yeah, that's it about this game. And we will move to the next one. Crazy fight in this one. We are moving to French derby, Milena versus Robin. Milena took black, Robin took white. And it all starts with this Joseki. This is possible to play. White has this move, white also has that move, both possible. Luckily for black, the ladder works for black. The ladder's way is here. So, if the ladder works for black, maybe black can be satisfied. In the game it looks like this. Why should black be satisfied if the ladder works? Well, a very simple tewari. This is not the last tewari today. We will see even more powerful tewaris in the next commentaries. But for now, let's look at this. This Joseki, in which white, instead of extending, plays this move and that. This is for sure very good for black. And then let's imagine this exchange, good for black. This exchange changes almost nothing. And this exchange, well, surely better for white because the ladder breaker can be more of a problem than moves on the outside around here. But still, rather looks good for black. Only if the ladder breaker is quite efficient, it can be alright for white. But if it is just a simple move, I don't know, let's say just a normal move, black also doesn't necessarily need to capture. Black can play a more active move in such case, which also has value. Maybe the ladder breaker has bigger value than just such a move, but still, probably this should be a better result for black. Unless there is a powerful ladder breaker. So, is there? And the answer is yes, there is. White can play here. And black cannot play this one. This is the most powerful type of a ladder breaker because it's on the path on your opponent's stones. So there is no good answer. If you play a ladder breaker on the path of your own stones, then often your opponent can still discuss somehow. For example, I mean here, in this case no, but let's say this move. If white plays this move, black can still start a discussion and say, your ladder breaker doesn't work. And yeah, black is correct. And now, still doesn't work. And white plays here, and now black says, okay, the ladder breaker is not that painful. So it's better if you find a stone, if you find a good place for your ladder breaker on the path of your opponent's stones. Black cannot make any discussion. Black needs to finish the ladder, and now white creates a powerful shape. This would be quite good of a compensation for white. But in the game, white plays this move instead, and black defends against breakers, ladder breakers, by answering on the other side. This is very smart by black, but even if black answered in a normal fashion, then still the ladder breaker which white gets would not be as powerful as it would have been if had white played there on the first place. Because now this A-B exchange is not necessary for white. White could have just started with C, continued with D, it would have been better. So if you, when you are to find ladder breaker, have no mercy and don't think of, what is the proper way. There is completely no need for a proper way when it comes to ladder breakers. You don't need to find a Joseki which gives you a stone which breaks the ladder. Just play this stone knowing that your opponent cannot answer. This is unthinkable that now black answers and gives white the right to go out from that ladder. That ladder is too important. So this was not the best by black, how black handled the ladder. And now, black captured. In such case, when there are no liberty problems of these stones, you can play a further move, and it will be probably more efficient than just capturing the stone. But capturing a stone is, of course, a good way. Yes. The game continues, and now black plays a not common move. So the common play, most common, is the knight's move, and also the Kosumi is sometimes seen. Now black's shape is quite good. White doesn't have any smart continuation cutting black, because this cut is not scary for black. But black attaches, which looks a bit suspicious. There is quite an obvious weakness in black's shape. For now, white played elsewhere, but then tried to use it, hoping that black peacefully answers and white gets to cut black on the outside. Well, still it's a bit unclear, but yeah, it's certainly difficult for black to handle the situation properly. But black simply answered from the other side, and this was very agile by black, very well timed. I think that white should have started with this move, because now it's difficult for black to play from the outside. Before white made these exchanges, which strengthened black. Now white's group is certainly more live, certainly healthier than in the other variation. And if black answers here, then well, now we can go for this and that. Now maybe black doesn't answer, like that, but we gain really a lot in this way. So the order of moves was the issue in this variation. This was too easy for black, and now, well, white still gets some stones on the outside, but black protected the whole corner. And unfortunately for white, white has two groups which are split inside the zone of black's influence. White still pretends to connect them, but it's not really good to pretend in Go, because no one will get tricked by such claim. Why not this? Why not this? If black answers like that, well, maybe soon we manage to connect our stones, and even if not, even if black finds time to split us, we will get another move in the center, and also we will sacrifice the bottom stones quite easily. And if black tries to cut, well, we simply jump, no? Still, yeah, we are split, but I think it's much better than pretending like that. Like that, black simply went through, and now black can even ignore, I think, though, no, alright, maybe not. Better to answer. Black answered, maybe better to answer from the outside, because, yeah, because why not from the outside? I mean, after this move, white has quite a clear way out, which maybe will let white connect everything. But somehow white didn't cut. I don't know why. The cut is super powerful. Maybe white was afraid of this variation. Well, alright. White dies, but white gets a compensation. So not sure if this is something to be afraid of. And white played this move, which is not a shape. Now this is a very, very bad exchange. And still white won't have a possibility to connect the groups. White went like that, and now black did a very not understandable thing. There was a chance to cut white's groups, and this is of utmost importance to cut them. But instead black found out that she can run out with the stone. That's true. The stone can run out. But white gets such a powerful outside, and now suddenly white connected everything and simply got rid of a burden here. Yes, it costed 12 points, maybe 15 at most. Black gained 15 points in exchange, but white solved all of the problems, and suddenly it is white who is powerful in the center of the board. This group of black is not completely healthy, so this was a very bad decision by black. It was much better to cut white and keep white having problems. The third game today, when I give this advice, don't solve the problems of your opponent for them. This really solved the problem by black's greed. Black was greedy to simply capture a few stones, but it lacked the bigger picture. Then white plays on the top. Surely it's a big move, but black continues by attacking white's group. This was powerful, and I don't know why black stopped. This group is very thin. So if black keeps playing next to it, black is guaranteed to get quite some profit. Maybe like this, and maybe even a clamp. The group doesn't have easy to ice. So if it gets enclosed, it might in the worst case die, but well, probably it will not die. But well, if it's like this, already black gained a lot, and certainly these moves are center. So maybe we are more afraid that white extends, but we want this direction of play. We want to get these stones, because white at the same time gets nothing, gets neutral points, thanks to our strength. We want to press our opponent onto our strength. Like this, our opponent plays neutral points, and we end up, or maybe without that, we end up getting very valuable very valuable stones. In center, all in center. So play next to weak groups, that's a very universal wisdom. Go wisdom. Black plays elsewhere, and this move is not very very much of a center, especially that white already played that one, which will certainly help in a fight which will be initiated by black's attachment at B, which means that white have time now to protect the group, and this is the most valuable move, but instead white answers black's move. Okay, only answer once, that's fine. Though probably it's not a game. If you look at this exchange, B is more of a place where black wants to have a stone and not A. If white starts from this, black is rather going to play here and not there. But fine. Good that white protected the group. This is a bit of a strange direction of play, though a big move, very big move, but white should not have too difficult time going out. I think that now it's time to attach and play here. This is a powerful way. Like this, play like that. Something like this. One possibility. Or you can play something more, something less complicated like this. Very, very big move. Very, very big move. White will add a stone. Maybe here. Yeah. So for now, black plays elsewhere. White tries to attack black, but I said that black is not healthy, but in fact, it's not. He's not in a direct danger either. I think black can ignore this move. For example, like this, black is not hurt. Like this, black can descend in center. This descend also in center. And make life easily. So, well, I guess white can get this stone in center. This might be true. But even if it's so, the continuation against the corner is not too scary for black, I believe. But black answers. Well, not needed. If there is no risk, then let's play this. It's more important. Not that white's move is with no value. It also creates a moyo, but still. Black went out instead, and then white goes out. Also makes sense. Yes, it all makes sense. Black plays attachment, but yeah, this is very big. The biggest move in such situation, and this tries to be an attack, but this attack cannot succeed. White simply goes out, and there is no point. It would have been better to get such a stone in center, and this might be center, and then we have a better it's a better preparation for the fight on the top. And then black kept insisting on this fight, I don't know why, but in the end it works somehow. Black gets a ponuki, but white also finds a good play. Maybe even the ponuki was not the most powerful way. Though I don't know. Ponuki is good. Yeah, some exchange happened here. But would have been better to start with a normal move. An exchange. Then black was a bit scared to play the more powerful move. This is a general thing, that this double hane is more powerful. Like when you have this joseki with a tenuki, then you can play like this. You have a right to do so, but it's usually more powerful to play like that, because your opponent cannot capture your stone, as there is a problem in the corner. So or wait, which is better? Is this better? I don't think it is. This should be good, no? Maybe no. Is this better? Like this? Anyway, there is a problem in the corner, so black does not go for that. Instead, black plays like this. And this is a Joseki. And in the game, we have a similar shape. And extension is not so powerful. Better to play double Hane, because white cannot go for this. So white will instead play Atari from the other side. But we shouldn't really be afraid of such variation, because the group on the top will live easily, and the group on the left side will also live, so we will just reduce white's territory much more. Yeah, probably it was better to play here. Black did not expect that white will ignore the move. The ignore was quite smart. But then black somehow got doubts in herself, and well, black should have played here. It's a big move after all, but instead ended up adding a stone here and giving white the corner back. So then it's not coherent. Black's plan is not coherent. Then it was certainly better to start with an extension. Alright, so this was not very successful by black, but still white's territory got reduced quite much. The game is alright. I mean, it started good for black. Then here it also was going good for black, but then black captured the stones, so probably it became even. And now, yeah, it's just a normal game. I think we can play slowly, play an endgame and try to win in the endgame. But black desperately tried to find Agi which will just break white's shape, like if black thought that she simply loses if she doesn't find anything like that. So currently, well, black played these moves, and now it is possible to get this in center, for example, and slowly continue the endgame. But instead, black tried to cut off, to split white, but it didn't work because white had this Tesuji, and like if white plays here, then at least black can do it in center. But white had the Tesuji, and black ends up in Gote, and this is terrible because point-wise, it's not good for black. Black gained 3 points and reduced white's territory by maybe 5, but here white gained access to black's territory, which is also worth 8 points at least, and maybe even black's group is in danger. If white adds a move, well, yeah, black certainly needs to continue. And black lost center on this whole action, so this was very, very bad idea by black, and black should have played calmly, not trying to necessarily destroy white's shape completely and win by 20 points. Just play slowly. In the game, black lost center here, and from now on it was difficult because white gained this last big move in the center. Black then tried to cut white, but it didn't work, and then black resigned. So now, yeah, now black is indeed behind. Still, I think that even now it's possible to play slowly, play here, and try to continue the game. If you count points, the difference shouldn't be large. But yeah, black seemed to be desperate already before this, already when playing this sequence, and it was unnecessary. The game was not decided yet. Yeah, so this is it about this game, and we will move to the next one. We will move to Group B. sorry for the short break. We are back. Yeah, we are back and we move to Group B. So now we move to a game between Baptiste and Piotrek. This was unfortunately a bit short game. Baptiste took black, Piotrek took white. It starts with such a play, a bit old-fashioned I would say, just taking the side. The modern style is playing always closer to already put stones, so maybe here, but this would also be a common choice, or continuing the Joseki would be very common these days. But of course you can also play such a move and it's completely fine. Black also takes the side, alright. So also the modern style is to play like this or maybe like that, but taking side also makes sense. We will talk about this side in a moment. For now, white approaches black stones, black doesn't care. And now black attached and went into the corner, which is a bit quick, a bit premature maybe even. It would be more common to simply jump out and then slowly continue the game and not start the fight so suddenly. I think it makes sense for white to descend. But white might have been afraid that this stone can help black in the fight. So instead white plays a safe move. This empty triangle is a common and safe way. And now most common for black would be to play here, connect and play from the outside. Get such outside moves and then continue. This would be normal. But instead black goes up, which should usually be met by white's descent, because black didn't play that, so now we can do this. This is a good idea. If instead we play, for example, here, then later black can get a similar result as in Joseki, but instead of B, black has a stone at A, which is better for black. Instead white plays this move, but still black is happy, now continuing in that fashion. As well, it's again similar to the Joseki, but instead of playing this move in center, black manages to play that move in center, which usually would not be black's center. White doesn't need to extend. White can ignore it. And now fight like this, I guess. And also you need to notice that black played the tiger's mouth, which gives white that additional stone, but also an additional stone to black. And now can this additional stone be used? Hello to Halo. Happy to see more people watching. Can this additional stone be used by white? Hopefully, but how? How can it be a plus for white to have the stone at A? And why in the Joseki we usually see a solid connection and not the move at B? So if white simply plays like this, there is no difference from the Joseki. But what white can do now is to connect on the other side. That's the difference. That's what white can do thanks to that stone. Because now black cannot clamp at B. Or white can go further and extend. And here black cannot do much harm to white, except for the fact that there is an annoying aji. Black can live in a ko. And this ko might also not always be a ko. It might be an unconditional life. Or if black wants, black can also start a ko like that. So that's annoying for white. That's a problem with this extension, but well, we don't play in the corner, so it seems better that we play on the outside. However, now black's push is extremely annoying, because technically we should still extend. If we don't do it, or if we play Hane, then black's cut is center. If we don't do anything, the Agi in our corner is as annoying as ever. But if we extend once more, black got yet another stone on the outside, and it's very valuable because black can fight against our group. Now black can cap it easily. So, if black simply starts with this and then play Tiger's Mouth, then it's not advisable to play this Atari, even though I know that some players are inclined to do it. And also it would be falling into a trap if you simply play like this, because then black simply got a better result than in the Joseki. This AB exchange is certainly good for black. So the way to fight against this Tiger's Mouth of black is to connect from the other side. Something not really obvious. Good to remember. But in the game there was already an exchange, and maybe still it's a better idea to play like this. But now certainly this CD exchange is good for black. Very good for black. So white got really tricked. And to not get tricked, white should have descended now. This is the correct move. If black plays here, well, now white can play that one. It's big. White got tricked, now white plays elsewhere. Good move, but black soon continues by this Hane. Probably it was better to play here. And to this Hane, white still answers in this manner, which still leaves that super annoying Agi open. So that's not good. White should have now finished the Agi. Should have gotten rid of the Agi. So the game becomes better for black. This result is a bit better for black. Now white enters black's area. And it seems like a reasonable idea at first, because well, black has stones at the fourth line. Certainly there is a space below them. However, precisely because they are both on the fourth line, it's not needed, it's not urgent to enter. There is still an open right side, so white can simply play here. But I would certainly more recommend playing next to the weak group, because if black keeps attacking it, certainly it will be problematic for white, and you will see in the game that it was problematic for white. So just add moves to your weak group. This is a basic thing in Go. Later you can even attack the opponent's group if you first defend yourself. And now, what I wanted to say about the bottom side. If black plays here, still the bottom side is open from here. And if black plays there, still it's open from the bottom. So there is no good way to protect this shape for black. And this is a general reason why you would see this move less often in professional games than a move on the third line. The move on the third line already is protected better from white's attack, probably more like this attack. And also, when black adds a move, it can be a solid territory, like this or like that. But with the fourth line move, it's not really a solid territory, even after black adds a move. The shape is not so amazing. But alright, white entered. But if white enters, I would like to advertise this move. First of all, if your opponent tries to answer in the most active manner with this move, you will wedge, and it's difficult for black when the stone is this close. Because if black goes into the most powerful variation here, then you have a very good move. And now black's stone is miserable. So this is, maybe better for black to play here. But still, no matter if like this or like that, black stone is not well positioned. But black doesn't have a choice. The other variation is simply bad for black. Maybe like this, or maybe better like that. Like that. That. Yeah, something like this. So, to this move, your opponent will answer like that. But if black does, then it's certainly better than starting with this move. Because now white doesn't have to push. And maybe white doesn't want to push. If white plays here, will black spend another move around there? That's very good for white. White is flexible. White is running out very fast. And if black plays elsewhere, then later white might consider a jump into black's corner. It might be a better idea than playing this move and clamp. Or, well, yeah, you can play like this, you can also play like that, then the jump into the corner works even better. For now, you don't care about that. For now, you just build a group. You can even do it in a more light fashion. So anyway, I want to advertise this move, especially when the stone is close, as compared to that move. In the game we have this 2-4 move, okay. And then white unfortunately didn't play very light, got cut, and then lived on a very small scale. I mean, not very small, but probably it's better for black, this result. It's more important for white to make sure that the group runs out. So probably this would have been a better move. Go like that. Black is very happy to seal white's group. And now there was no good move, it seems. Though maybe white can play here. How about this idea? Might be a better idea, though I am not sure either. Yeah, in the game white gets sealed, lives on a small scale. And now black gets the move next to white's weak group. The game is better for black, but certainly not over yet. This looks like a more honest shape. Better protected. And if now black goes here, white very easily jumps out. So why would we need to play here ourselves? This is not something which we are scared our opponent will do. However, if we play that one, then we are afraid that our opponent plays in the other spot, and black did. And now white's shape is quite fragile. Technically, white should have played here and then jumped out. This way, if white plays like this, white cannot be easily split, though still the fight is good for black. But in the game, white skipped that move and left behind a terrible weakness, and black went directly to make use of it. And this is very bad for white, because white cannot let black split the stones, but the ko is not possible, because there is by no means any threat which is big enough for such ko. White played this as if white was hoping that the group of black can die, but black managed the situation very easily. If white plays like this, then black simply lives, so there was no chance for white anymore. And now seeing this double ponuki of black and even investing more into this desperate try to capture black, which was certainly a mistake. White should have rather played like this. But yeah, well, it's still bad. Maybe like this. But anyway, the game was already very good for black. The position of black was so powerful that white played a few moves and resigned. Yeah, so this was a short game, unfortunately. And I think there is nothing more to comment on in it. So let's continue with the next game. In this game, Cassian took black and Robert took white, and I am very happy to see that now Robert doesn't follow the complicated variations, but just plays another move, which is also good, also a Joseki. You don't need to always play the most fashionable variation. Other moves are also very good. And now I already remember that this is a review very much worth watching, because we will have a great study of Tewari in this game. So we start with this move. Black goes to the corner, this is correct. Extends, this is all correct. White plays this large jump, and black continues by this move. And now I didn't let black get this exchange in center, which is correct, but instead white blocked black on the other side, and black was forced to connect on the second line. And who is this result good for? It's difficult to say just by looking at the position, just by looking at the moves which were played. So what can help us? Tewari. And what else? I really don't know what else. So let's just imagine that it appeared differently. Or like first you can try to think what Joseki this can be similar to. What came to my mind first was this Joseki. Tap, tap, sorry. Hane, and then black jumps. White makes an exchange. White gets this exchange, which is certainly very good for white, but then white plays this move and black goes up, which is quite a smart answer. Maybe black could capture, it would have been better, but this is also a smart answer. This is basically the same as the game variation. Well, in the game black played here and not there, but the Hane, but it works basically the same. Anyway, white's move here is center, so maybe the move from the game is a bit better, but basically is the same. So 12 to 13 is a very good exchange for white, but 14 to 15 is certainly good for black. How to judge? I'd say that probably white is satisfied more with the exchange, because that 14 to 15 still gives white that continuation, and later white can make a shape like this. For now, well, I would extend on the bottom side. I think a bit better for white, a little bit better. But if someone is not convinced by this Tewari, because there was one exchange good for black, one good for white, then I had also another idea. This Joseki. This is all good, and then push once more, it's a Joseki. Then Keima, yes. Block, it's all correct. Black plays here, and now white jumped, which is a good move. Normally we would extend, but if we jump, well, maybe later we can extend further. But we might be afraid that black simply ignores it. However, in the game, black answers, and not answers in this way, but in that way, which is certainly too slow. So this 12 to 13 is a very good exchange for white. And then this exchange is certainly good for black, but how much does white lose by that exchange? Well, later this move will be less powerful, that's true. But to me it seems that 12 to 13 should be a bigger gain for white than 14 to 15 a loss for white. So from this Tewari, I think that the result from the game is just a bit better for white. But also these two Tewaris inform us that the result should be quite even. So good. Tewari led us to a reasonable conclusion, And also it's very happy for white, very nice that white played this not most fashionable move but got a better result. What went wrong for black? Well, the only culprit could be this move because all other moves were just correct. So instead of playing here, it would have been better if black simply jumps. Well, white can try to put pressure on black's group, maybe even like this, if white is not afraid. Maybe white doesn't need to be afraid. But yeah, it's also possible for black to accept it by playing like this, or maybe now that. Maybe something like this. I don't know. The game result is quite even, but I'd be satisfied as white. Now white jumps, and this is not needed because it's just about black's moyo. Yes, it is about black's moyo, but there are no weak groups. And white also has a very big moyo to create for himself. And if black plays this move, black is not strengthening the group of his because that group was already super strong. Black is not putting much pressure on white's group. So if white is afraid of the moyo, white can simply jump in right now. Easily. So this move was maybe not the most active. If I was black, I would certainly play on the bottom side. Not let white play on the bottom side. Especially not like this, because this really encourages white to make a huge moyo. Maybe with this joseki, but maybe just go for the moyo strategy like that. But maybe black likes to play against moyo, then it's fine. White chose another joseki though. Yes, that's also possible. This is all joseki, yes. Black tried to use a weakness in white's shape, but then followed with this move, and this is certainly a big mistake, because black lost a liberty for both of his two stone groups. So now there is certainly a liberty problem with the stones at A. Even after the hane, like white can easily double hane because of the liberty problem. And also this move will be center for white, which is worth a lot of points. Just clear points to be taken in the endgame in center. So it's a significant loss on both sides. This exchange must be avoided by black, and instead black should have played like this. Maybe white plays here and black plays maybe here. Yeah, this was a mistake. Then white connected, and well, it creates weakness in black's shape, but I'm not completely sure if it's correct. Because are we afraid that black plays here? Black's shape is so thin. Maybe white was afraid that there might be a problem, with this cut of black. But I don't think there should be such problem. If black goes like this, then white wins the capturing race quite easily. And if black goes like this, then also white wins the capturing race. So, yeah, anything else? This move? This shouldn't change much. Yeah. So, nothing really to worry about. I am a bit doubtful that black is going to play this move, given how thin the shape is after that move. So then it was not necessary to play here. Maybe this is an Ajikeshi, but alright. Important move by black. Alright. This again, bad exchange by black. Again, black creates a liberty problem for himself. Better to just push than play here and push, because now, well, it's difficult to give away 4 stones, but if we don't want to give them away, then, well, we end up with a dumpling. And yeah, for now white doesn't play it because for now it might be too small. And white answered in this fashion, and this is not recommended. If your Hoshi is naked, it doesn't have a corner enclosure, then you should play here. Remember this, just play Sansan. The best move, the best move. You shouldn't even play this one, because it leaves a lot of weakness. Later your opponent might play here, and what do you do? So just play the most solid move. But certainly don't attach, because after the attachment, you cannot fight well if you don't have a corner enclosure. You cannot fight as you do with the corner enclosure. That's not possible. That's simply bad for white. I don't know. Black can do probably many different things. And here, white is in trouble, very much in trouble. So instead, white was forced to play like this and that. But this is just good for black. Why? Tewari. Again, we have a Tewari. If black plays here, which is also a good move, good way to approach such a moyo, white would prefer to play from the outside, because there is a lot to be taken. But alright, it's also possible to play from the inside. And like this, it's a normal sequence. But if then white is forced to make this exchange, certainly black is better than in that other variation. This exchange certainly helps black build a group. Very simple Tewari. Just remember the Tewari and then use it in your games. So the same applies, by the way, to this same Joseki with the corner enclosure. This is a reason why you really shouldn't play like this, but you should play like that. Because if you play like this, then it's as if black started from here, and instead of playing from the outside, which is usually the better move, you play from the inside, and then you make this exchange, which is a very bad exchange for white. Yeah, this, then black pushed. Push is a bit easy for white, because white extends on the fourth line. You should rather play than knight's move in such shape. White still wants to add a move, but then you just have a better shape. And if your opponent plays like this, it's really much better for you than just pushing. But alright, then black builds a group. White plays a very powerful move. I think that this was a very, very good choice by white, and not so obvious. Many players would maybe enclose and miss the opportunity to play that very powerful turn, which puts a lot of pressure on black's group around here, and also certainly will influence the fight on the left side. Black cut, but this was not really a good timing, because first of all, white can certainly make life, but second of all, now it's a perfect opportunity for white to make these exchanges, and now black cannot give away the 4 stones, because otherwise the cut becomes meaningless. And white took this chance, played this when it is center, and then simply answered. And now black was so afraid that continued, but then certainly it doesn't make sense. Black's shape only got worse. Black ended up spending another move here. Well, it would have been better to spend the move right now, because the shape is better than with these exchanges, certainly. And this is also not a good exchange for black. So white used the mistake of black very well. And now, if it was me, I would have simply captured the stone, just clarify the position. It's very powerful to have a pawn looking, but white preferred to enclose black and give black this move. Well, possible, but now we need to care about the group, and white did. White played this move, which gives an I shape, but it's a big loss. It's a really big loss. If we simply play like this, then in the end game, we have that move in center, and now it stops being our center. So how big of a loss is it? Well, in the end game, black will play this, and depending on the situation, either black will be able to get this in center, which would mean that black gained basically 4, 5, 6, 7 in center. But, well, maybe this would not be center, so then black will need to play like this, and then the position usually settles like that. So, and actually here, this is also can be considered center. So then black doesn't get 7 points, but instead black gets 5 points. 5 points in center. So it's a 5 points difference. It's almost a commie. It's a really big loss. Just because of your whim to enclose the opponent and thought that you will anyway live with the group, you just give away 5 points. It just falls out of your pocket. That's unfortunate. Maybe white can try to avoid this right now and play a move like this maybe, and just make life in a different way, just to not lose those 5 points. And also now, I would still prefer to play like this and then attack from the outside and not give black this exchange in center. Then black simply lived. So this was not really a great success for white. Now white has to play here, unfortunately. It's not reasonable to start a fight like that, even though it seems that white considered it. Because, well, like this it doesn't work, and like this certainly black is out. And so yeah, so you need to enclose your opponent in center. You have to do it. But instead, white hoped that maybe white can get some moves on the outside, and well, maybe somehow we will be able to start this really unreasonable fight. So this is really the best way to lose the game. If you start such a fight, the game was good for white, but if you start a fight and don't kill, then you just lose. However, white is unreasonable with this plan because, first of all, this is a very big loss. Black got much stronger in the center because of these exchanges of white. Second, if white plays a move like this right now, which is not a center move, then black can and black should play this move by himself. If now white plays here, the situation is already clear and black can continue in any fashion black wants, because this will never work anymore for white. And it's already a game. It would have been better for white to block immediately than to block after this exchange. So it's a very clear move by black, and white cannot ignore it, because then the whole group in the center is cut off and the whole influence of white is destroyed. So black should have played this move, and it's really a pity that black didn't. Maybe black can even continue if black feels especially aggressive, but doesn't need to. Unfortunate that black didn't do it, and for white it's a very, very important lesson. When there is such an exchange, you just have to make this exchange, because it's just unreasonable to hope that you might use the other way. And you need to make this exchange, because for your opponent the move there is also very valuable. In general, better to skip center exchanges, better to not make. But in situations such like this, it shouldn't be considered education. You cannot use this agi in the other way. And you need to do it because the move of your opponent there is also very powerful. But white was lucky. Black didn't play there, and then white finally found his reason and played that move. And now, well, white is building a very big moyo. Black gained something before by the bad exchanges of white, but it will be very, very effective if all that becomes white's points. So, well, black should somehow reduce, but the way in which black reduced in the game was not enough, because, well, black didn't seal this completely, and white gained all of those points. So what should black do instead? Is playing like this good? No, it's not, because still white gets 3D a lot, still black's shape is thin, and white is connected with that one. So the only move right now on the board is this cut. It would be unreasonable for white to start a fight like that. The fight will be very easy for black. So white basically needs to protect the territory in this way, but it's clearly better than what happened in the game. Better for black to do it it like this. Like this it would have been an even game. However, in the game black made it too easy for white. Maybe black didn't expect white's double hane, or that this shape will be so bad for black that there will be no good move. But yeah, in the end, white got so many points, and now it's just easy for white to finish the game. White now continued by simple moves, kept it all simple, just made sure that the stones don't get disconnected. And here the last chance for black, or like the last hope for black, was somehow still managing to disconnect white stones, but white found that final blow, that final Tsuji, which didn't let black build a big territory in the center, and from now on the advantage of white was just too large, and white won by a very large margin. Very, very interesting game. I hope the review was also interesting with all those tewaris. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we will move to the next one, which will be the last one actually, to the last one. This is the last game we will review today, because I decided to not review Group C yet. We will see if we review round 3 from there or round 1. I'll try to contact the players. Alright, in this game Maxim took white and Benjamin took black. This was a crazy game. It starts with black ignoring that push, which is not what you should do. White is now very satisfied with the hane, so don't do it. Now certainly these A, B, C, D are very bad exchanges for black. So without these exchanges it would look maybe a bit like some strange Joseki, but with the exchanges, with these exchanges, white is just happy. And if I were white, I would immediately go for an attack on that group, because due to these exchanges, the group is extremely thin. Without these exchanges, without CD, black would be able also to play at E, which can make black stronger, but with CD, black is very thin. It's very important to play there, and if I was black, I would certainly now extend from that wall. But somehow the players didn't do it, continued with other Josekis. Alright, fine. Then white played this, which is not really great. I understand that white didn't want to play this one once black already placed the stone in the ideal spot, but still, it's just big. The corner is big. It's the common way right now to take the corner, no matter if you are black or white. So after white did not take the corner, black did it. Yeah, and white ended up in Gote without many points. Well, alright, there is a weakness in black's shape, so that's the only thing which white gained from here. Then black played this, and this is not really what I would play. Just extend from the wall. Why do you need to protect these two stones? They are really worth nothing. Then white plays on the top, makes sense, though be a bit closer to that wall. Still black will play from the wall. I think better. But alright, all good, all is good. But it's very important that black gets this move. Yes, certainly. Though there is still a weakness, and if I was white, I would try to go for it. Really, it's not easy for black to fight. Maybe black plays from top, but there is a lot of space. Really a lot of space. White plays this, which, well, this is one thing which I would consider, but for now I think that it's most important to play there, because white's group can be thin if black gets that move, and black's group can be under pressure if white gets this move. It's a very important spot, and then play this and this. Very, very important. And if I am black, I would play here, certainly. Well, for now, there is also another big move after white approached, so maybe it's good to play here, but then white gets that one, which I am really partial towards. Yeah. Well, both moves are big. But black enters, and this is not understandable at all, because what is black splitting? This group is completely strong, and the other stone will get very strong by getting this. Unless black wants to somehow fight, but this doesn't look reasonable to my eyes. It doesn't. Though it might be a bit difficult for white as well. Yeah. Maybe black wants to fight like that. But then still I think that white is good by any other variation like this, or even like that and that. What is black doing? What is black doing with this invasion? You don't invade when you are not really attacking, putting some pressure on the groups you split with your invasion. There are weak groups out there on this board, so it's more important to play next to them. Then white invaded this, and to this invasion you should answer that in that manner. Yeah, white can live, but it has a heavy price. So white doesn't really want to do it. So what is white going to do? This also the same, all the same. Why? Why not here? This is a bad move. This exchange is already good for white. Now white can and should just play elsewhere, because this exchange already created an agi in the corner, which black cannot remove in a cool way, because this move doesn't remove the agi. Before, black can remove the agi in the corner by descending, which is an active manner, because it creates a very good continuation. But after this exchange, black cannot remove the agi in an active manner. Black needs to play this move. So white already gained a lot, and white should just play elsewhere. But white had a crazy idea to make life in this corner, even though it's only a co-life, and even though black doesn't need to care, because the group on the outside got much stronger thanks to that invasion of white. White now still needs to add a move. Let's say white plays here. It's extremely good result for black. Extremely good. This corner is so small. Why we live in this corner right now and strengthen our opponent, while the opponent could have been weak had we decided to play differently. So this was a very bad idea by white, and black shouldn't start the ko. Black should simply play here, because the ko is difficult, and well, white found a threat. It would make sense if now black ignores, but well, I understand that it's difficult to ignore such a threat, but maybe still good, we gain this and we are super strong, so later we can attack those white groups easily. But black didn't ignore and then simply lost the ko, but then it's like losing a move, because black should have started with this one, and well, maybe for now white doesn't need to protect the corner, but the ko agi will be still there, and black should wait with using it and not use it immediately if black admits that he doesn't have the power to play the ko. The exchange, the ko threat which white made, is not that much of a loss to be an excuse for starting that ko by black. By the way, important, very important lesson. Play this exchange. Because for now your opponent will answer. But later your opponent might not answer. And if you got your opponent to answer, then later this move of yours is certainly center. It's not even a center for a ko, it's a center for a kill. And this might matter a lot because it gives you a connection. But if you don't do it, then later it might not work. Because, well, your opponent might decide to fight the ko. Or to simply ignore that group. Who knows? The fight which happens on the right side might be worth much more than that group at that point. For now, certainly your opponent will answer. White will not fight this score right now because all the threats are some minus. And now again, take. Still your opponent is very likely to answer. Yeah. So play such an exchange. Don't miss this chance. White attached, very good, though maybe black can fight. But it's of course difficult to fight like that. Okay, it seems that white can fight. Yes, it seems that white can fight. Then this is the correct move. Black extend, black bumped. That's strange. Why not here? Why not here? This would be a normal way. Black bumped, and now white should focus on what is more important than this area. White should just extend and extend. These are good exchanges, and then play here. Like this, white gets very powerful. But instead, white played Hane. Well, also that good direction of play, but black can cut, unfortunately. And then white didn't gain that much. Still, white gained some strength and also split black, which has some value, but there are weaknesses in white's shape. So I am not sure if this is better. I mean, it's also a good way. But I think that this would be just simpler. You play like this, like that. Yeah, but black is not split, and maybe you might dream of attacking black. Though this dream is not very realistic because black can simply capture this, and later this gives black a connection. I mean, this. For now, black runs out. That makes sense. This is a bad exchange. Bad shape by black. Later, white gets this move in center. Why would you give that move to your opponent? You prefer to play this move yourself and then go like that. I think that makes sense. Though black's shape is also a bit thin. Though, yeah, okay, it is. Yeah. Okay, then maybe better to play like that. Well, then white gets the other move, but this is inside for the outside. Yeah, it makes a difference in terms of white's eye space, but you should care more about the outside because there is a lot of fighting going on the outside. And not really play like this. These were thinner shapes. If I was black, I would certainly play here. Better shape, no? Like this, white still gets the other move in center. Okay, so white already gained a lot, but we know that it's not really that much of a gain because black has this, unfortunately. For now, black attacks white's group, but white is doing fine in this game. I mean, this was certainly a bad idea to live in that corner, but now if we live with this group, we have a possibility of taking a big territory here, so black will probably soon spend the move, but then we destroy the Moyo, or black takes the Moyo, but then we get our points. It's a long game, but white unfortunately made a serious mistake soon. Well, why try to cut a knight's move if you don't end up cutting it? Of course, white should have played this instead. But this makes a small difference. But now, white thought, well, maybe, white thought this is almost an eye, so it's enough to create the second eye, it seems. Unless black wants to fight, but this fight is not reasonable because the other group is in danger. A bit. Actually, is it? It's a car, right? It's a car. Anyway, white, if black answers like this, then white can make an eye. White can start with this move. Now I see. White can start with this move and... no. Okay, no. It's not an eye just like that. We need to play this. So maybe there is a chance to make a second eye, but the first eye is not yet an eye because black can play like this and that. Unfortunate. So white wants to make sure that this is an eye, like this, and then play here. But it's naive because black can play this move and nothing changed. It's exactly the same shape. So instead, white must have played this move and then go for that. So this was a silly mistake by white. And now the group of white is in deep trouble because even if this eye can be made, the other eye cannot. So the only chance for white is to do something on the outside, but this looks really unreasonable. First of all, because this group can make life in ko by killing the corner, and black will certainly have a lot of local threats, and maybe black can even run out. So for now, yeah, if white plays like this, black would probably play here. So white wants to, and yeah, and black can still run out with this move. Probably, so I'm not sure. It's not really a run. Anyway, white plays this move, but then black found a very easy way out. Here, 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 then that, and well, white is really hopeless. And the game should have ended soon, but now black made a silly mistake. Instead of pushing, black played here, maybe hoping that white takes and it's better for black. But white played that one. Maybe black thought that this is unreasonable because now black plays double Atari, but now black doesn't have time to protect both of the shapes, and white ends up getting this connection. And now the game starts looking a bit different, starts looking not that clear for black. Black certainly must play this move. Now white doesn't have eyes. Maybe one eye can be made, but not two. And well, the fight will be difficult for white because, well, it will be this ko. It will be all about that ko and that connection. And I mean, black can even try SMI. Maybe black might be able to simply capture white by taking away white's liberties. So the game should be still good for black, but it became a bit complicated. But black failed to see that possibility and played this move instead. And this was really a terrible timing because then white managed to make life in center. That's too bad. Well, at least black should now ignore the 5 stones. The game can still be played. White gained really a lot, but black managed to destroy that area of white, and still it's black's center, so maybe black still has chances in this game. Okay, give a try. But in the game, black let white live in center. That's completely a wrong idea. And now, even if black is able to make life, it cannot be good for black. Because now white gets center. And it's very important who gets center. Maybe just like this. I mean, alright, giving away 4 stones is also terrible. But yeah, in this scenario, white has all these points. So it's worse for black than giving away the 5 stones. Black should have played here. And like this, it starts looking hopeless. So to still have some hope, black connects, lets white take away black's eyes, and attacks the group. Well, maybe a good idea, but white quite easily made a lot of liberties, and black realized that black cannot fight that capturing race and resigned. So very interesting. The game looked like it should have been decided at this point in black's favor very easily, but one mistake and then another mistake, not playing this key, certainly a key point, and suddenly black died, and yeah, white managed to win this game. Very interesting how the fight went. Thank you for listening, and I am not sure if we will have a stream next week. The season is about to finish, but maybe I will review some games offline. For now, that's it. Thank you for listening, and yeah, see you at some other occasion. Bye bye.